Greetings, Wildcats. Welcome to a brand new season of Har-Ber Wildcat News. HBWN is your source for all the latest news, events, and updates happening right here on campus.
That's right, I'm Jocelyn and my co-host Afton, and we're here to keep you informed on everything you need to know, whether it's academics, athletics, school events, or the buzz around campus. HBWN has you covered.
We've got a packed show for you today. We'll cover new rules, familiar faces, community, and even cars.
Let's get right into today's stories. With the new school year comes new rules. HBWN reporter Eduardo Montes spoke with Dr. Griepe about the newly implemented cell phone ban in schools.
In the spring, Governor Sanders passed or signed into law the no cell bell-to-bell legislation. And so what it does is it creates an expectations for all schools in the state to not permit cell phone usage during the school day. Yeah, I mean, last year, if you remember, we took some corrective steps that allowed students to use their phones in hallways and during lunch. And we noticed some improvement, through that. But again, when legislation is passed, that's something that's done for the entire state. And so, I can't speak obviously for other schools, but we did notice some improvement last year when we just kind of limited the access. But so far this year it's been, I think, pretty smooth. It might be a different way for students to do business because they're used to having access to their phones, but I've seen a lot of good things happen as a result. I want to just say that I'm super proud of our students. When we met at the beginning of the year and I explained what the law means to our students, I'm not surprised, but y'all have stepped up to do the right thing. And so for me, that's been great. I don't know if anyone would admit it or not, but just to not have that distraction active in your pocket where you feel a buzz and you're like, I need to check it. Just to not have that distraction, I think has been a win for our teachers and a win for our students. I've enjoyed watching students talk at lunch and in the halls. I mean, just, again, I think that's good. Instead of the first point of contact being our phone. So I think good things have happened because
It is
I think it's going to have a positive impact. I think the law is a little bit overdue. We should have done this years ago. School is a time for learning. And so to not have that distraction is nice. And I think socially too, we're going to see some benefits of just students, again, talking to each other instead of sitting across the table and texting each other like we've seen before. So I think overall it might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but again, our students have done a great job in just stepping up and doing the right thing.
Thanks, Eduardo. Another rule enforced here at Har-Ber is the requirement of a parking permit. Permit checks began September 2nd. Brandon Hernandez has more on the topic.
Why is parking pass really important to Har-Ber High School?
Parking pass is very important because one, it provides safety for the schools. Two, it provides identifications that you are come to the school. And three is that you don't get your car towed, which nobody really wants that to happen at Har-Ber High School. And as you can tell, a lot of kids here have their parking passes, which park here, and they come to school on time.
What are the requirements for parking passes?
Okay, well, first you need to have your driver's license, not a permit, because a lot of sophomores try to get it with their permit, and you need a driver's license for that. You need registration.
And proof of insurance, and you can get that at the front office.
For $20 a permit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's cheaper than getting towed, so we recommend getting one.
Because getting towed will be around like $200, or getting a boot as well.
And getting the yellow sticker on your car is kind of embarrassing because it takes forever to take off. So get a parking pass.
As you can see, this is what you get if you don't have a parking pass at school. You get an orange sticker, and it's very difficult to take off. And we recommend you get your parking pass instead of doing this.
What was your experience with being booted?
My car being booted was actually super stressful and really annoying. And I do not recommend waiting until the 5th week to buy your sticker because it'll happen to you, trust. I came outside, I saw a giant green sticker on my car and I freaked out and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But thank goodness the office helped me out. Had to pay $40, don't do that.
Speaking of cars, remember that random car that appeared in the rotunda? Yeah, a lot of people had questions about it. HBWN reporter Alexis Delgado sat down with Mr. Terrell to learn more about it.
The show is called Marcus is Walking, and it's 11 scenes that take place within a car. So different varying scenes, and it calls for a car for it if you can get one. They say you don't have to have a car, but here at Har-Ber, I tend to be a go big or go home kind of person. So like, if they give me an option to do a car, I'm gonna figure out what I can do to put a car on the stage. Over the halfway through the summer after the show was decided on, I spent a lot of time reaching out to different scrap yards, seeing if anybody had bodies of scrap cars that were gonna go to the scrap mill anyway. And since they were going to go to the scrap mill, maybe put them to use on the stage, and then they can go to the scrap mill, right? Because they're going to scrap them anyway, so what bad would it be for us to put on the stage just for a little bit of time? And pretty much every junkyard I called just laughed at me and said, do you know the price of steel right now? Like, why would we give you a car? And it's unfortunate. So I reached out to lots of different people until I found, I came back to my stepfather, who had a 1985 Volvo that was a parts car that he had acquired back in the 90s. They graciously donated it to the program and allowed us to basically chop the roof off and cut the floor pans out, because that was really rusted stuff, and mount it to a body, knowing full well it would never come back to their yard. It would have to go to the scrapyard afterwards. We expect that we're probably going to have to take it to a scrapyard because of the metal. But we've put a post online to all the technical directors around the state, seeing if any of them are doing a show that involves a car, and see if any of the schools would be interested in purchasing it from us, and that would go put the money into our program. That would be a best case scenario, that another troupe says, yes, we're going to do a show about a car. We'd love to have a car on stage. And then we would sell them the car as is, with the platform on it, the wheels on it, and everything that's set for it. And all they have to do is bring a trailer, we roll it onto the trailer, and then they haul it off, and it goes with them, and it never comes back. That would be the hope. So like, we have headlights in it, we have like blinkers, we have even lights here in the dash that when the kids are on stage, it lights up in the dash so we can see them. We have brake lights on the car, we've got hazard lights that flash during the show. So we try to make it look like it's a functional car, even though it's just a car on a platform. The whole play is 11 different scenes that all take place in a car. But we decided in ours that our car in the show is basically kind of a character within the show. It's part of the process, because the show itself, each scene is about some form of symbolism. We were basing the idea of the paint job off of a jacket that one of the actors was going to wear in the show. And since we were basing off of that, and it was all geometric shapes and bright colors, we thought, okay, if it's going to be geometric shapes and bright colors, what else can we do? And so we started thinking about the idea of symbolism, and I told the kids to put symbols on it. So we put symbolism on it. So we have like peace signs, we've got, hearts for love, they've got spirals for chaos, they've got all kinds of different symbols that represent different things that they wanted to represent on the car. And basically just turn the car into a symbolism piece versus just a car.
The theater department's next performance will be Wednesday, November 19th. They will be performing a one-act play titled Exposed. Don't miss it.
We're going to take a quick breakdown, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got some important information for seniors. Stick around.
Hello,
And what's your name and what are you trying out for?
my name is Siggy the Cigarette, and I'm here to audition for the lung.
Whenever you're ready.
And I will always puff you. Sorry. Can I get a redo?
I don't know if you're really what we're looking for, man.
Please let me retry. Please.
You're not a star. You're clogging our airways. You're blackening my stage, and you would take the life out of our performance.
I'm sorry. I really don't think you're right for us.
Security!
Oh, please let me retry.
Next.
Please, please. And I will. No.
Welcome back, Wildcats. On September 26th, HOSA hosted its biannual community blood drive. Jocelyn Graciano has the story.
My favorite part of the blood drive is probably just watching all the kids come in and donate. I feel like it's really good for our school to have kids this early start trying to get themselves out there in the community and save lives.
Each blood drive and each donation saves a lot of lives. One blood donation from one person can save up to 3 people's lives. So when you think about it in the aspect, if we have 80 donations, you take 3 times that amount, and that's how many lives we could potentially save. So that's probably the most important reason. Honestly, just encourage your friends and family to come out and donate, because right now the blood centers are really low on O negative and I think A negative, and they're at critical shortages on those two. I mean, they're always running short on all blood because donations have fallen over recent years, so I think honestly we just need to encourage people to actually donate.
If you missed it this time, be sure to sign up for the next HOSA blood drive in the spring.
Students, it's never too early to start preparing for the next step. This week, I interviewed Ms. Colaneni about how students can prep for college and when they should start. Take a look.
Preparing for college or even just life after high school is really important. A lot of processes are starting at the beginning of senior year. Be really competitive and have a leg up on other applicants, whether it's for acceptance, admissions, financial aid, scholarships. They're looking for rigor for students to have challenged themselves, not taking an easy senior year, but to continue to challenge yourself all the way through senior year. Another thing that you could consider as you're planning your post-secondary life, again, if you're pursuing higher education or additional training or a school of some sort, is to be very aware of the cost and location. It might change your path. Here at school we have a lot of resources. For things like scholarships, students can find options on Naviance. We utilize Naviance right now as a platform. It's got a wonderful scholarship search tool that can show you national scholarships. It's also where we post all of our local scholarships or scholarships that we're made aware of here at Har-Ber High School. Where I'm researching scholarships, applying, and then following up on any necessary steps I might need. And so work it like a job. If you spent 2 hours working on a scholarship application and you got it, and it was $500, you just made $250 an hour. So it's not always glamorous, but persevere and take the ownership of it.
Shout out to our amazing counselors for being so supportive. We know we can count on them.
Speaking of incredible staff members, HBWN reporter Levi helps us get to know one of our Har-Ber's beloved art teachers.
My mom was a teacher, and then one of my science teacher at my high school was very enthusiastic about teaching, and he inspired me to teach. I wanted to be just an artist selling their artwork out in the world, and then I became an art therapist, and as I did that, I learned that I wanted to be an art teacher. Back in 2002, well, I graduated high school from Tulsa, Bishop Kelly High School in Tulsa, and then I went to college in Conway, Arkansas at Hendrix College, and then I got my master's degree at Emporia State University in art therapy. I love teaching because of the kids and what we get to learn together, and I love clay and making things, so.
We are lucky to have educators like Mrs. Graham here at Har-Ber.
Well, that's all for this episode of HBWN, folks. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. For HBWN, I'm Afton Stout.
And I'm Jocelyn Graciana Flores.
Thanks for watching.